right, we are getting closer to the end of the chapter. This next lesson's an introduction to equations. I'm going to try to make this fast and quick because really it's just checking your answers or the answers that they give you, solutions. Vocabulary: an equation is a mathematical sentence that uses an equal sign, and an open sentence is if an equation contains one or more variable that may be true or false depending on the value of its variables. So we're trying, when we approach this one, we should be acting as if we don't know how to solve equations. All right, so example 1. Is the equation true, false, or open? Explain. Okay, so I'm going to take 24 plus 18, 8 plus 4 is 12. Carry the 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get 42 on this side. And 20 plus 22 is 42. And so this one's a true. And the reasoning is because the left side equals, although that doesn't look like equals the right. That's how we know. All right, 7 times 8 is 56. So we're saying that 56 equals 54, but we know that's a big fat lie. And so this is false. And it's because left side does not equal the right side. All right, next one, 2x minus 14 equals 54. Unless I know what x is, at this point we're calling this open because it depends. It depends on what the variable is. And yes, I know that you guys know how to solve that two-step equation, but we're going to act as if we don't know how to solve it. I know that's hard. All right, so example 2, is x the solution of the equation 32 equals 2x plus 12? And I know the thing you want to do is to just solve for x and say yes or no. X equals this. Don't. What we're going to do is we're going to replace. We're going to use that substitution property, right, that we've learned before. And we're going to replace x with 6. So we're going to do 32 equals 2 times 6 plus 12. Using order of operations, I'm going to keep the 32. It's just going to come straight down. 2 times 6 is 12 plus 12. And 12 plus 12 is 24. And so here we're saying that 32 equals 24, of which we know is false. And so is x equals 6 a solution of the equation? And the answer is no, or not solution. Don't do this. Someone taught you guys that that's an empty set or whatever. It's not. Most people write that as their zeros in mathematics. There's a different way to show an empty set, but don't do this. No. Just say no solution or not the solution. All right, an art student wants to make a model of the Mayan Great Ball Court in Chichen Itza in Mexico, and I probably mispronounced all of that. The length of the court is 2.4 times its width, so I know that the length equals 2.4 the width. And the length of the student's model is 54 inches. So now I'm going to replace that and say 54 equals 2.4W. What should the width be? Now this is the other thing. You guys are like, oh, just let me solve it. Well, first off, you're not allowed a calculator. So that's a little hard, right? What we're going to do is we're just going to substitute it in. 2.4 times 2.4. Does that equal 54? And so when I take 2.4 times 2.4, I get 16. 4 times 2 is 8, plus the 1 is 9. We carry the 1. 2 times 2 is, or 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. So we get 6, 17, and then 5. So 576, but I've got 2 decimal places, so I move my decimal 2 places. So this is 5.76. And so then I know it's not A. And if you forget how to set up an equation, or you can find an equation, but for some reason you're struggling on how to solve it, this is a perfect way of solving, especially when you get to like harder problems in math and they give you a multiple choice question, especially if you're given the calculator, just plug and chug. All right, when I plug this in 2.4 times 11.25, I worked this out ahead of time so that I didn't waste much of your time. We end up with 27, which is not 54. So B is not our answer. All right, so we move to C, 54. Oops, not times. Equals 2.4 times 22.5. All right, so from here, when I do my 22.5, so it'll be easier to do 22.5 times 2.4. We get 20, 8, 9, 10, 8, 9. We get 10, 4, 5. Oops. I forgot my placeholder. So this is my 10, and then this is my 5. And then 2 times 2 is 4. So then we end up with, oops, 0, 0, 9 and 5 is 14, 50, for 2 decimal places. So my decimal goes here, and I get 54 equals 54. That's my answer. I don't even need to check D because I found my answer. And again, this can be one of the easier ways unless you know exactly what you're doing the other way without a calculator. But that's the best way to do it. Or that is a way to do it. It's maybe not the best way to do it. But right now, as we are pretending to not know how to solve equations, that is the best way to do it. That is it for section 8. Until next time, 8th graders, keep doing you.